Welcome. This is Jane Gardner, and welcome to Solopreneur Success Strategies. And today is Mindset Monday, where we talk about your mindset as an entrepreneur. And thank you for being here. And I'm Jane Gardner. And if you want to know who I am, I work with my husband in our structural engineering firm for the last 20 years over in Western Canada. And I came out onto the internet about 3 years ago to help others start their own home business. And one of the things you need to have as a entrepreneur is to have a good mindset in order to happen to struggle with the stress and challenges of being an entrepreneur. And so that's what Mindset Monday is all about. And Solopreneur Success Strategies I have as a series on 7 days. And Tuesday is all about your brand, your messaging on Get Your Message Out Tuesday. Wednesday is all about your customer and you on World Domination Wednesday. Thursday is all about your skills and knowledge as a solopreneur on Jack or Jill of All Trades Thursday. Friday is about Freebie Friday, free software and tools. Saturday is about systems that you put in your business in order to free up your time in order to do more business. And Sunday is Strategy Sunday. And that's all about your business plan and your visions and your goals. So I'm streaming this live right now because I found out that maybe if I'm streaming live right now on Google, I might get more juice. So even though it's not Monday, welcome. We'll still talk about mindsets to set you up for Mindset Monday. So far, I guess I should tell you what we've been doing. So we've been looking at the mindset of the entrepreneur for the last couple of months. We've looked at a positive attitude of the mindset of the entrepreneur, the passion of the mindset of the entrepreneur, being an action taker in the mindset of the entrepreneur. We did about 5 or 6 episodes on being an action taker, as that's one of the biggest issues on being an entrepreneur. Embracing change, as we talked about as well, on the mindset of the entrepreneur. Determination, persistence, the willingness to take failure as feedback rather than as failure. That's always good for an entrepreneur in order to continue on with your stress and your challenges. Having the big picture, having the why of why you're doing your business is always good for the mindset of the entrepreneur, especially if it's not based on your own ego, but based on your family and what you want to accomplish in your business. Having patience, but also being an action taker. So having the good patience in order to be an entrepreneur. And today we're going to be talking about the willingness to learn. And the next one will be about the willingness to listen, and share with others, which is all about mentoring. So imperfect action is always better than no action. So that's my motto. So even though I may slur my words, sorry about that, I'm keeping on. So let's keep going. So we've had a look at positive attitude, passion, action taking, embracing the change, being able to adapt to change, being persistent and keeping going even with the stress and challenges, and taking failure as feedback is always important as an entrepreneur so that you can learn from your mistakes and continue on. I call failure mistakes. I do not call them failure. And the big why are you doing this? Why is your family the most important thing to you and you want to make more money for them, for example, or you want to share your passion with other people? What's your big why for being an entrepreneur? And having patience, making sure that you don't go off and focus in other directions without even testing and figuring out whether that's the right way to go in order to having good patience. And being patient to see how things develop is always good as an entrepreneur, as well as being an action taker. So it's a balance between action and patience. So today we're going to be talking about the willingness to learn. An entrepreneur needs to be open to learning every day. The internet changes so quickly. Facebook changes its logarithm in one day. The next, you can't do anything with Facebook. For example, everything is changing so quickly. From 5 years ago, everything has changed, certainly on the internet, in terms of what you can and cannot do as a business person. So you always have to keep up to date with your technology as much as possible. And Google is always changing search. One day you're up number 1 and the next day you're down at number 10. So it's always good to keep up to date, or get your social media marketer keep you up to date as far as the social media goes. But certainly I'm sure in your business there's always new things happening in technology, so that you have to keep up to date and take classes and take courses and always be learning. But also learning from your experience as well as learning from others. The tactics that work today could be gone tomorrow. Better to learn strategies rather than tactics, especially on the internet. So you have to be open to always learning new skills and knowledge. And that's, of course, includes on the internet, but it also includes learning from others about what successes they're having in their business. If they're your competitors, you have to be open to having discussions with your competitors and having relationships with your competitors in order to see what way the internet is going and your business may go, and what new directions may come up, what things may come up that will help you save time and money in your business. That's always good, and have to learn those things as well. And sometimes things disappear. We had a live streaming company who decided they were just canceled it one day. They said, oh, it was just beta, so we're canceling and we're going on another direction. And there were people who had started up shows on that live streaming company, and they were aware that it was beta, and they knew that it might be coming because they kept up to date, so they weren't too concerned and were able to go on to another live streaming company's service. But if they hadn't kept up to date, they would have been in trouble because they didn't have to rush around and figure out where they could go to do their live streaming. So especially on the internet, there seems to be less, responsibility and less holding to certain values of being forward and keeping people up to date, and holding on to your guarantees. Guarantees are very important in business, and sometimes they don't always happen. Sometimes things don't happen in business, and some people think that just saying I'm sorry, this isn't going to happen, it's not viable for me. Whereas when you have invested in their company and invested time in doing something with them, it can be rather annoying. So you always have to be willing to learn new skills and knowledge in your business. There are plenty of places to learn, of course. You can go to universities now. They have online courses, so you don't have to actually go to the University of Minnesota in order to learn a class from there. I went to Coursera, which is on a university campus. Sorry, I wasn't thinking what I was going to talk about, so I didn't look it up. But I did a course on gamification. And right now I'm taking a course from another person, just his own personal course on Google Analytics, because I'd like to be able to teach people about Google Analytics, for example. So you always have to be willing to learn. It is making the choice of whether you need to learn this new skill, which is the important decision you have to make. Don't get into the learning addiction trap. I was in the learning addiction trap. Sorry. I am a practicing perfectionist, and I felt that I should learn a lot of these things, since when I came onto the internet, I didn't know too much about the various marketing techniques and tactics there were. So I went and took a lot of courses and a lot of things, and I learned a lot or a little, it depends how you look at it, about a lot of things, and didn't get anything forward in my business in terms of using those. So you don't want to